Chicago Bears Now is presented by Aura, your all-in-one digital safety tool to keep you safe and secure online. We do everything online these days, so stay safe with Aura. They're going to monitor all online activity. Aura.com/chatsports. That's the link to go to start a 14-day free trial. You're not going to regret it. You're going to feel more secure. Check the comments. Check the description. Aura.com/chatsports. Luke Getsy hype SZN. Do you believe in the new offensive coordinator in Chicago? Well, The Athletic did include him in an article of 40 under 40 that included coaches, executives, agents around the NFL. Getsy was mentioned. He's certainly drawn some high praise this offseason since coming down from Green Bay. Now, he certainly has a lot to prove. First-time play caller at the NFL level. He's called plays in college before, but this will be another leap forward in his development as a coach, as he will call the plays this year for the Chicago Bears. Here's what The Athletic had to say about Luke Getsy. Getsy has a major task in his first year as a coordinator and play caller, developing quarterback Justin Fields, a 2021 first-round pick, into a quality NFL starter. Getsy spent the past 3 seasons in Green Bay as the passing game coordinator and quarterbacks coach under Matt LaFleur. He worked closely with veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers and 2020 first-round pick Jordan Love, and knows that developing a close relationship with his new pupil in Chicago will be critical to Fields' success and what the Bears hope to accomplish this season. It's critical that Fields and Getsy, this relationship, is on the same. They're on the same page with one another. It's critical that they get along. It's critical that Justin Fields is listening to what Luke Getsy is implementing into him, both from a playbook standpoint, but also from a technical and just improving footwork and things like that standpoint. These guys need to get along. This is absolutely critical. Quarterback and play caller have got to be on the same page. Sounds like so far so good, but this is so vital to this team moving forward. Do you believe in Luke Getsy? Type B for believe, type D for don't. If you're not sure yet, you can just type not sure in the comments. But I think so far so good. He came in with certainly good skins on the walls. Now this is another step forward for him, but this is how these things happen. You bring in an up-and-comer to call your plays. You hope it works out, and I think there's a good chance it will. So B for believe or D for don't. Now, Luke Getsy earlier in the offseason had this to say about the relationship with Justin Fields. We have to be on the same page always. That's where I felt he's grown, is he's communicating with me so well now, things that he's feeling, things that he sees, and that part of it has just been tremendous for a young guy to be able to do that. These 3 or 4 months that we've been together, it's been a lot of fun. I think something I've really noticed early on in this Matt Eberflus, Luke Getsy era is this coaching staff is connecting with these players. We heard Darnell Mooney, we talked about this on Monday's video, talk about, guys last year were just checked out and, basically calling out Nagy and the prior staff saying, yeah, they just didn't believe in what they were saying anymore. This staff is clearly implementing what they believe in, and these players are listening to it. They're respecting these new coaches, and that's what has to happen. You have to develop that respect before anything else can take place, which the next steps are getting Justin Fields to play at a higher level, getting him to believe in himself as a quarterback, because he's got all the potential in the world. He's got the strong arm. He can make all the throws, play actions, drop back, scrambling, throwing on the run. He can do it all. He's capable of all of it. We saw enough flash last year. There's a ton of college tape suggesting he can do it. Now it's about finding consistency and Getsy and Fields being on the same page and understanding what they want to accomplish. This development of this young quarterback is priority number 1 this year. Yeah, you want to win. Yeah, you want to make the playoffs if you can. But getting Fields to a place we're entering next year, you're like, yeah, that's the guy. He'll continue to improve. He's our franchise guy. If you can end this year being able to say those things like, yeah, we have our franchise quarterback, it's a successful season. It really is, regardless of the wins and losses. Now, I think if you get to that level of him being the guy and you feel convicted in that, that probably means you won a decent amount of games. Just a guess. You never know. You could lose a bunch of close games, but he plays well. But I tend to think if he develops and plays well, decent chance this team will play well as well. Will Justin Fields take a leap this year? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Will Justin Fields take a leap for the Chicago Bears in 2022? Give me a Y for yes, or you can go ahead and give me an N for no. Today's show is presented by Aura, the all-in-one digital safety provider that we were talking about earlier on in the show. Listen, we do everything online these days. Online shopping, my banking is online, social media, online accounts is ranging from Netflix, email, Amazon, everything. Financial fraud, it happens every day. Aura is going to offer protection for that. They'll send you real-time alerts if there's suspicious credit inquiries going on with your accounts. That way you don't have to worry about it. They're going to monitor all that stuff for you. Identity theft protection, they offer it all over at Aura. Get a 14-day free trial today at aura.com/chatsports. Family plans up to 5 people. Get grandma, get grandpa on the plan because, let's be honest, they're not really sure what's going on online. That's who hackers attack, people who are able to get got very easily. You know, you get those phone calls, hey, give me your social security number and you win a free prize. Yeah, grandma and grandpa fall for that stuff all the time. So aura.com/chatsports. Stay secure, stay safe. They'll keep you protected from those hackers on the internet. Let's go to our next story here. Draft Jaxon Smith-Njigba in 2023. We've certainly talked about this before, shortly after the NFL draft. Now this is back as ESPN draft analyst Matt Miller released his latest 2023 mock draft, has the Bears selecting Smith-Njigba with the number 2 overall pick. The draft order is based on ESPN's FPI, which is not a believer in the Chicago Bears. We've discussed that before, so take that for what it's worth. Here is the top 10 on Miller's mock draft. Will Anderson Jr., the Bama edge, goes to the Jets. Smith-Njigba to the Bears at number 2. Jalen Carter, the Georgia defensive tackle, goes to Houston at 3. Eli Ricks, the corner out of Bama, goes to the Jags at 4. C.J. Stroud, the Ohio State quarterback, going to the Falcons. Steelers get Keely Ringo, the Georgia corner. Bryce Young, the Bama quarterback. Will Levis, Jared Hall, Tyler Van Dyke. 4 more quarterbacks rounding out Matt Miller's top 10. Now, let me say this right off the top. I don't believe the Bears will have the number 2 pick. But they base this on their FPI, and that's fine. You got to do something to base these mock drafts off of, so I'm not going to blame Matt Miller for that. However, regardless of how you would get him, if you're picking 2 or picking 8 or picking 10, I would love Jaxon Smith-Njigba in Chicago. Now, if you're picking number 2 overall, does that mean Justin Fields did not play well, that you need to consider quarterback? Who knows? I think a lot of things are yet to play out. I personally think the most likely scenario is that Fields is going to get at least through 2023. That's only fair considering the Bears haven't spent crazy money this offseason to build around him. They've put some minor pieces around him, but maybe if he completely flops this year, that completely derails your thinking there. I would love Smith-Njigba. He's very talented. We'll talk more about that in a second. But first, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to Chicago Bears Now, youtube.com/Bears Now. We've put out some fun videos recently. Darnell Mooney ripping Matt Nagy. Put that out on Monday. If you want to go check out that video, if you subscribe, go to the videos tab. You can find all these videos. I enjoyed this video last week talking about Braxton Jones and his journey, kind of a deeper look into the potential Bears starting left tackle. If you guys haven't seen that, go check it out. It's still up there from a few videos back. And then I also put out my early 53-man roster projection following Bears mandatory minicamp, so you can check out who I have making the roster or not. Of course, other videos have been uploaded recently as well, news, rumors, videos, and other content also. Go check it out. It's all in the videos tab. Subscribe. That way you don't miss any of our videos. Back to Smith-Njigba. You're talking about a guy who would really give you a dynamic weapon on offense. I mean, had almost 100 catches last year, 1,600 yards and 9 touchdowns. Oh, and by the way, that was playing with Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, so it's not like he was getting all of the attention at Ohio State. 3 receivers had 1,000-plus yards for that offense. And let's be clear, this Bears wide receiver group is going to need more talent. Yeah, you'll still have Darnell Mooney. He'll have 1 more year on his rookie deal. Ideally, he'll be working on an extension to stay in Chicago for a while. Hopefully, Velus Jones this time next year has shown a lot heading into year 2. But beyond that, all these guys are basically on 1-year deals. Byron Pringle, 1-year deal. We don't know if he's going to be a part of this team moving forward. If he doesn't perform great, decent chance he won't be back next year. St. Brown, same deal. Sharp, Pettis, all these guys. These are not long-term guys. So after Mooney and Velus Jones, you kind of don't know what receiver looks like moving forward. Darnell Mooney and Jaxon Smith-Njigba would be nice, and if Velus Jones proves to be a nice weapon on offense as a rookie, then you got a nice little trio there if that is what ends up being the case. Obviously, we'll see how this year plays out to see what position the Bears need. Offensive tackle is very much a possibility. Offensive line as a whole, we don't know. There's certainly a lot that's going to play out. Edge rusher could certainly be one. But Smith-Njigba would be a fun piece in this Bears offense. And him and Fields overlapped for one season at Ohio State, so there's going to be some familiarity there as well. Do you want the Bears to draft Smith-Njigba in 2023? Type S for select, type P for pass. Do you want to see that happen? If you do, type S for select. If you don't, type P for pass. David Montgomery is the latest Bear to talk publicly about the upcoming season. He hopped on WGN with Jarrett Payton, the son of Walter Payton, and I forget who his partner is as well over there at WGN. But here's what he had to say. Monty did. I'm excited for everyone on the team to kind of go out and have fun, but also dominate too. We're going to do a lot of things that people don't expect us to do. We are going to shock a lot of people. I'm excited. You hear these young players talk, Montgomery, Darnell Mooney, Fields. They're not scared, and they're not going to back down from anybody. On paper, is this the most talented team in the NFL? No, but I think the message from Matt Eberflus and the attitude from him and Poles is feeling these players. These players can feel that energy. The energy's back in the building at Hallis Hall. They're going to make up for some talent deficiencies by playing their ass off every single week, every single play, every single drive. They're going to compete with people. Now, I don't know if that's going to translate to 10, 11 wins here in year one in this era, but they're going to be a team that when teams look up, I'm like, oh, got to play the Bears this week. That team's physical. They don't quit. They don't give up any easy plays. Like that's going to be the type of team that this team is. Now, we'll see how many wins and losses that turns into, but these players are confident. I think these coaches are instilling confidence in these players. Don't be surprised if this team surprises people this year. These players believe it, and if they believe it, that can go a long way. Will the Bears surprise some people this year? I think there's a good chance they will. Type 1 for yes, type 0 for no. Let me know what you guys think. Sound off in the comments section.